Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. Hello, and on this week's episode, we are going to wrap up the higher faculties with reason. And when I think of reason in this higher faculty, it really reminds me so much of Bob Proctor. You know, he was the first one that really introduced me to all the higher faculties. And again, perception, will, imagination, intuition, memory, and reason. And how we were never taught these in school. We were taught our five senses: hear, see, smell, taste, touch. And reason is just one of those that really kind of brings it all home for me. And Bob talked about reason in such a way that it just really made it easy to understand and easy to put into perspective. I was reading a blog on this mental faculty, and it's from the Positive Mom, and she wrote that she once attended a conference where she heard Bob Proctor say that mental activity does not constitute thinking. The reason is what gives us the ability to really think, to be consciously aware of the thoughts and ideas that come into our mind, and we can choose to reject or accept them into our reality at the conscious level. This is undoubtedly one of the most precious gifts God gave us, the ability to choose what images we hold in our minds and create our results. And it is so true. I know, Bob's talked about this so much, and he says almost all the great leaders throughout time, throughout history, they have said they don't think, and they don't really think a lot of the same things, and they don't really come together on many of the subjects, but they do agree on one thing and one thing only, and that is we become what we think about. Henry Ford said, thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably why so few people engage in it. Bob Proctor also quoted Dr. Ken McFarland. He was a great educator in Kentucky. He said, 2% of people think, 3% think they think, and 95% would rather die than think. And if you stop and listen to what most people are saying, it's fairly obvious. They're not thinking. Most people have their television sets on, the news, and they soak up everything dominating the media. Whether it's accurate or not, true or not, your mind is being manipulated to think what it sees and hears. And, Bob goes on to say, is this how you want to spend your life? Just listening to the news? It doesn't mean you deny it. It doesn't mean that you should think it's all false, but that doesn't mean you have to spend your time thinking about it all the time. He says, I would much rather activate some of my creative faculties and do something constructive. And just think about that. I talk to people, I coach people, I talk to people in everyday life that's in my family that I know really well. They're just like, it's just on in the background for hours on end, all day long. And that, repetition, what you're accepting and what you're surrounding yourself with, especially through repetition, will go into your subconscious. And that is where you will take action or not take action. That's where you will make a lot of your decisions from. So what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are the people you're surrounding yourselves with? I recently have one of my coaches, she gave me homework, and it was to listen to Mel Robbins' podcast. And I listened to this one. It's about not giving a what people think about you. And at the end, she said, if you are not surrounding yourself with people that inspire you, you are putting yourself in a cage. And the beautiful thing is that the door is open. You just have to choose differently. You have to surround yourself with different things and different conversations. The reasoning, it is essential. It's an essential part of the mind. It is a logic faculty that allows you to think and plan. Reasoning makes sense of things and uses logic to draw conclusions. Your reasoning capability must be stretched in order for you to think beyond your current thinking. So what is your current thinking? If you change the way you look at a thing, the thing you look at changes. So just spend some time thinking about all of that. 2% of people think. 3% think they think. And 95% would rather die than think. They let everyone do all their thinking for them. They just show up, do what's in front of them, do what they're told to do, fall in line. Just spend some time thinking about that. I know the last few years has been really eye-opening for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. I used to fall asleep watching the news, and then it would be on when I woke up, and it was just forever surrounding me. And I stopped that years and years ago. And I'm educated. I know what's going on. You will find it, and it will find you if it's something you need to know about. But you do not need to have on stuff that's not filling you up, that's only tearing you down or making you feel bad or giving you just anxiety, depression. Like, you get to choose what you surround yourself with. So if you like to watch it, great. But I am going to tell you that there's a difference between being informed and being inundated. You can still be informed and not inundate yourself with all this information. Be informed, yes, if that's what you choose to do. I choose not to, and I still am a very productive person in society. I know what I need to know of what's going on, and I choose, much like Bob and much like the people that I want to emulate, and that I intend to be where they're at someday and watch what they're doing and study them and see what their habits are, what disciplines they have, what their standard is, what their self-image is, what their attitude is. Find those people and follow them. If you're going to follow anything and put your time and effort and energy and attention towards something, make it good. Because either way, we wake up every day, God willing, and you're going to be doing something during the day. There's going to be some activities that you do or don't do. So choose wisely. Use your reasoning, higher faculty in the factor. I mean, Bob said it so well, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet or not, but he said our higher faculties is really what separates us from the other animals in the animal kingdom. Because if you think about it, he said, you can find the same things in a pig and a horse as you can in man, meaning our internal organs, our smell, touch, see, hear, the five senses, taste. But we are a higher form of life, being that we have been given the gift of our higher faculties at the level that we have them. And that starts with our thinking. We can choose what we let in, and we can choose what we reject. More than 95% of people aren't even choosing. They are just letting the choices be made for them, rolling with the punches, not even thinking. Just do it. Why do you go to work? Well, everyone goes to work. Why wouldn't I go to work? That's what everyone does. So they do it. They do it for 40, 50, 60 years. They just do it because that's what everyone does, because they don't stop and think that it could be different, just like I didn't for years. I had the same job, and then I was just like, oh, I'm going to go do something different. And I did. And then, oh, I'm going to go do something different. And then I did. And I kept stretching myself and stretching myself and stretching myself. And I continue to stretch myself. If I'm not stretching myself and going for something that makes me terribly uncomfortable, terrified, and thrilled at the same time, I'm playing small. So think about your goals as well. Are they worthy of you? Are you going after it? Are you thinking, are you really sitting down and thinking of what you want out of this life? What do you really want to do? Who do you really want to be? And Bob always said, who do you want to be? He said, I got to be me. If I'm going to be free, I got to be me. Not the me I think my spouse or partner thinks I should be. Not the me my kids think I should be. Not the me my relatives or friends think I should be. But if I'm going to be free, I got to be me. So think about that. Think about what it is. If you could wake up every day and pinch myself, this is truly my life. I get to do this. I get paid to do it. I get well compensated because I show up, and the law of compensation is always in work, and it's the effect of it. So again, there are laws of the universe out there. Are you plugging in and playing, or are you just conforming and doing what you should be doing because that's what you do, because that's what you've been told to do? And that's what Larry, Tom, Joanne, Molly, all the people are doing out there. It's just what you should be doing. So I'm going to do it too. Stop and study. Google higher faculties, Bob Proctor. Get on his YouTube channel. Start watching these videos if this is the first you've heard of these, and really start to understand that we are what we think about. We become what we think about, and start actually thinking and using your higher faculties and using reason when something comes in. And that's why they're all connected. Because something comes in, and usually your intuition has something to do with your decision making, how your perception, how you perceive a situation, your memory, how does that serve you? Imagination, imagine it going one way or another, and your will, the ability to hold a thought or a picture on the screen of your mind. They're all connected. My coach said, pick out one. Now, I started with my intuition because I've always had a good sense of intuition since I was a little child. So that one was pretty easy for me to start strengthening, and I use it all the time. I flex it all the time. But pick one and get it good, and then go to the next one. Don't work on more than one or two, maybe two at a time. And start doing the exercises. If you want exercises for all of these, I have them. Or you Google them. Bob can tell you himself. He's got so much great information on his YouTube channels. Start there. Start with one. These are our God-given gifts. And as Einstein says, we ignore and just overlook our gifts, and we are a servant to the five senses. And it should be the opposite. Our five senses are here for us to enjoy life. Again, enjoy what you're eating, the taste, the art that you're looking at, the smell of fresh cut grass or that wood burning fireplace. Whatever that smell is for you. Hear the beautiful music, that concert, that musician, just the beauty in it. It is for us to elevate up and enjoy life. But so many of us live from our five senses. We have it all backwards. We look at our bank account and we let it make us feel a certain way. Then we go in that low vibration, and then we sit out and we put that energy out, and we get more of the same, of the same, of the same. Because if you're looking at debt, you're feeling debt, you're thinking debt, guess what? You're going to get more debt. So set that aside. Use your imagination. Come from where you want to come from. An hour after your big goal has been achieved, what does that feel like? And raise yourself, raise your vibration to that frequency as much as you can. And live from there. Start living from the end, not from current circumstances. Because if you live from your current circumstances and let your five senses dictate how you move through this life, it's never going to change. So, thank you so much for going on this journey with me with the higher faculties. It's changed everything for me. I found this information when I was 40, and now I will talk about it. I will teach it. I will do this until I leave this earth, much like Bob. It's just too good to pass up. Any questions? Let me know. You know, I'm always here to help. Favorite, share, subscribe, follow, all of that. I'd love any support. If you found this entertaining, if you found this educational, if you know someone or 2 or 3 people that should hear this, send it to them, please. And as always, leave comments, reach out to me. I'm here and happy to help in any way. Until next time, start thinking into results. Have a good one. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible, because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.